You shouldn't be awake, the alien nurse said. So I asked, then why are beginning? The first thing I felt was the weight of my body, like a mountain pressing down on me from inside. My eyelids fluttered against a dim, sterile glow. Cold air filled my lungs with sharp sting, and every breath came as if I'd forgotten how to do it. A voice broke through the fog. Soft, feminine, almost melodic. You shouldn't be awake, the alien nurse said. Her words were strange, syllables bending like ripples across water, but somehow my brain translated them instantly. I blinked against a blur until her face came into focus. She wasn't human, not by any measure I'd ever known. Her skin was faintly luminous, pale silver with undertones of violet. Her eyes were wider than mine, pupils elongated vertically like a cat's, shimmering with layered colors that shifted depending on how the light struck. White hair cascaded down her shoulders like spun glass, fine and floating as though gravity wasn't fully committed to keeping it down. I swallowed, throat raw. My voice cracked. Then why are you? The nurse paused, her lips parting, and for a brief moment her strange eyes softened, as though no one had ever asked her that question before. That was the moment I realized I wasn't in a human hospital. I wasn't on Earth. The awakening. I forced myself to sit upright, ignoring the way my muscles screamed with effort. The bed wasn't a bed exactly, more like a cradle of smooth organic material that shifted to support me. A faint glow pulsed beneath its surface, responding to my movement as though alive. Beyond the nurse, the chamber stretched out in curves and arcs, no sharp corners, no sterile steel. Walls shimmered faintly, translucent in places, revealing veins of light that flowed like liquid energy. Machines, if that's what they were, hovered in the air, adjusting their positions with insect-like precision, never making a sound. My head spun. The last thing I remembered was fire, earth burning, the war, the skies tearing open when their ships descended. And me? I frowned. Who was I? The nurse noticed my confusion. She reached out, her hand hovering inches from my arm. Her fingers were long and elegant, faintly glowing at the tips. Your vitals are unstable. Do not force recall. Memory will return when your mind is ready. But I shook my head. No, I need to know. Who am I? Why am I here? Her gaze lingered on me. For a moment, silence. Then she whispered, you are a soldier, or you were. The rest is for physicians, not me. I laughed bitterly, though it came out weak, more like a rasp. A soldier? Figures. So tell me, nurse, what side was I fighting for? She flinched, just slightly, but I saw it. That told me more than any answer. The alien nurse. Her name, I later learned, was Serial. She was not just a nurse, but what her people called a Carthy, a healer bonded to the lives of her patients. She wore a garment that shifted with her movements, woven from some kind of biofabric that responded to light. Every step she took made her seem part of the living walls around us. When she spoke, it was with measured calm. Your body endured trauma beyond human thresholds. It was preserved in stasis for 40 of your years. Awakening you was not advised. 40 years. The words hit like a sledgehammer. My pulse spiked, and the bed beneath me pulsed in response, trying to soothe me with warmth. 40 years? Everyone I knew gone. My home, my family, my planet. Ashes and memory. My voice cracked again. Then why wake me at all? Serial's eyes softened, the colors in them dimming like a dying sunset. Because I requested it. That stopped me cold. You requested it? Yes, she said simply. Because you dreamed. My chest tightened. I don't understand. She stepped closer, close enough that I could see faint lines across her skin, patterns that shifted with her breath like constellations in motion. During stasis, minds do not stir. They rest in silence, void of thought. But you spoke. You called names, whispered words, relived memories. It should have been impossible. Yet you dreamed. I wanted to know why. My throat dried. She had woken me not because I was needed, not because of orders, but because of curiosity. Because she wanted to know why one human soldier refused silence, even in frozen sleep. I didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or scream. The world outside. Days passed, or what I assumed were days, though the chamber's glow never changed. Serial stayed by my side, tending to my recovery. She brought me food, nutrient-rich gels that tasted faintly like citrus and iron, and once, a crystalline fruit that melted into liquid when bitten. Bit by bit, fragments of memory returned. I had been part of the Earth Defense Fleet. I remembered battlefields lit with fire, cities crumbling under alien bombardment, and our desperate final stand. We lost. Humanity lost. One day I asked her, what happened to Earth? Serial hesitated, then finally said, it remains, but broken. My people do not dwell there. We departed after victory. The surface was left to heal or to fade. Her words twisted in my gut. Victory for them. Extinction for us. And yet she sat beside me, offering me water, easing my pain. She was supposed to be the enemy. Why did she care? I confronted her one evening as I regained strength in my legs. Why are you doing this? Why care about me when your people destroyed mine? Serial looked at me with an expression I couldn't name, something between sorrow and defiance. Because not all of us desire conquest. Some of us were ordered, bound. You think war is chosen, human? No, it is inflicted. I didn't answer. Couldn't, because I saw truth in her eyes. Secrets. As strength returned, so did my ability to move beyond the chamber. Serial guided me through the living corridors of the vessel, or facility. I wasn't sure which. It was vast, alive with the hum of energy. Other aliens passed us, tall and graceful like her, though none spared me more than a passing glance. Serial whispered, "They do not know you are awake. It must remain that way." That made my blood run cold. Why? Because you should not exist, she said, voice low. Humans were not meant to be preserved. The decree was eradication, if they discover you. She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't have to. I stopped in my tracks, staring at her. Then why save me? Why risk this? Her luminous eyes met mine, fierce despite her soft voice. Because I cannot undo the deaths, but I can save one. And perhaps learn why you dream when all others lie silent. The weight of her words left me shaken. She wasn't just curious. She was guilty. Weeks bled together as I healed. Serial and I spoke often about her world, her people, the Veilthar. They were bound to something called the Dominion, a vast empire spanning stars, ruled not by consensus, but decree. Obedience was survival. I told her of Earth, the oceans, the forests, the chaos of human life. She listened with rapt attention, as though each word was a treasure salvaged from the ashes. Sometimes I caught her staring at me when she thought I wasn't looking, not with cold calculation, but with warmth, a dangerous warmth. It terrified me more than her people's weapons ever had. One night, it felt like night, I woke to the sound of footsteps. Not hers. Shadows moved beyond the chamber walls. Serial rushed to my side, pressing a finger to her lips. "They search," she whispered. "Stay silent." I lay frozen as voices echoed to the halls, alien tones sharp and commanding. The walls themselves seemed to tense, dimming their glow. Serial stood at the entrance, speaking quickly to the others in her tongue. After tense moments, the shadows passed. When she returned, her face was pale, her hands trembling. "They suspect," she said. "I cannot keep you here much longer." My heart pounded. "Then what?" She met my gaze with steel. "Then we run." The escape. The plan was reckless. Impossible. But it was the only chance. Serial led me through hidden passages, corridors the others seldom used. She provided me with a cloak of biofabric that shifted colors, blending with surroundings. My body was still weak, but adrenaline carried me. We reached a hangar, vast, filled with vessels that gleamed like shards of crystal. Guard posts lined perimeter, their eyes sharp, their weapons sharper. Serial pressed a device into my hand. It pulsed faintly alive. "This will guide you. Take the smallest vessel. It is bonded to thought, your thought. Do not question it. Trust." I stared at her. "You're not coming with me?" For the first time, her composure cracked. Her eyes shimmered, her lips trembling. "I cannot. If I flee, they will hunt us both. But if I remain, I can mask your escape." My chest tightened painfully. "Serial." She silenced me with a touch to my cheek, her fingers cool, glowing faintly. "Live. That is all I ask. Live for the dreams you carry." Before I could protest, alarms blared. Lights flared red across the hangar. Serial shoved me forward. "Go!" I ran. Guards shouted. Energy weapons cracked through the air. The cloak shimmered, flickering with each blast. I stumbled into a small vessel, its surface molding to my touch. The device in my hand pulsed, and the craft roared to life, lifting as though gravity were optional. Through the chaos, I saw Serial one last time, standing tall, intercepting guards, her voice ringing out in defiance. Then the hangar vanished as the vessel surged into the void. Ending. Stars stretched into lines as the vessel left the faster-than-light. My chest heaved, every muscle trembling. I was free, alive, but utterly alone. 40 years had passed. Earth was broken. Humanity scattered, maybe extinct. And the only one who cared whether I lived was an alien nurse who had risked everything. Her final words echoed in my head. "Live the dreams you carry." As the stars blurred around me, I closed my eyes. For the first time since waking, I dreamed, not of war, not of fire, but of silver eyes that shimmered with warmth. And I swore to myself I would live, not just for me, for her, for Serial.